What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Buying subs is all the chatter right now, and I figured I'd give my 2 cents on it because I got some thoughts. Smash JT. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications so you do not miss a random upload in the wilderness where there are wild snakes and mongooses. I don't even know. But also hot tubs and random live streams and whatever the hell I feel like doing just to piss people off, because apparently shooting videos frustrates people if it's not in a game room with games behind you. Anyways, hit the like button too. I'd appreciate it. It helps the video get circulated in the bubble. Buying subs. It's all the chatter right now because there's a certain someone that was seemingly caught buying them and then leaving YouTube after it didn't work out. Or so on the surface level it would seem. When you dig a lot further than that, there's a lot more to it, a lot more drama, intricacy, doxing, craziness. I'm not going to dive into that area of it. I don't condone any of that, never have, never will. I think it's horrible. I'd like to think as a gaming community we can be better, but I think that is in itself a high hope for certain people out there. Buying subs. Where do I stand on it? My take's a little bit interesting. I have never bought subs, nor do I agree with the practice of buying subs out of principle. But there are rumors, unconfirmed, but I will say unsubstantiated rumors that make sense when you put 2 and 2 together, where certain bigger YouTubers in the past had potentially been buying subs to make their brand look bigger than it was and buy views to go along with it. And I'm not going to name any names because I don't know who, if any. The point of bringing this up more is just to talk about a grander point in all of it, which is, does the end justify the means? If you can cheat your way and lie your way to the top without people finding out, and the algorithm just picks it up and goes from there, no one's the wiser and you've been successful. From a certain perspective, again, I don't condone this, but from a certain perspective, one could look at that as that's how you win YouTube. By just doing whatever you can to win. And I know I want to try to get away from talking about the Amico every time I talk in videos, but it kind of reminds me of what Tommy Tellerico was doing with the Intellivision Amico at the beginning. Making outlandish statements, wild speculation and rumors, setting expectations to let people's minds go wild with excitement and the retro game sphere, just to get investors on board. I mean, Tommy might argue that, but that's what it looks like from afar. You say whatever you got to say, you throw something together and put it in a shell, you slap a sticker on the top of it, and you create something, unique controllers that work in conjunction with the system, and say, this is what you got. And then start making other promises and new games and making trailers for stuff that you have no intention of actually ever following through on, at least in the near future. But if that was enough to sell people on the idea, it would be a self-fulfilling prophecy of success, where investors would come in, that would be the money they needed, and then they could do what they made all the promises for. And that's why I go back to likening this to buying subs, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy if you can pull it off. Where you maybe will say, for example, you're starting out with a smaller channel and you're working your ass off and you're not going anywhere for a long time. And I can relate to that, especially because that was me. I said this in my live stream last night. I got burnt out, frustrated, jealous of the bigger channels because I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. I was covering the topics, the trending topics first. And of course, I'm a little biased, but I would argue better than many of these channels were. Yet they were growing faster than me. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons you could say. They were more personable. They were able to connect with their audience better. They joined a network and worked together to pump each other up. There's a whole slew of reasons. I'm not saying, oh, people just bought subs to get bigger and that's what worked for them. I'm just saying, only they know. We don't know. We will never know what certain YouTubers did to get where they are. Nor do I want to imply that each of them did this or anyone did this. I'm just saying, if it took place, there'd be no way of knowing. And the end justified the means, because we still don't know. And look at how far they've gone. And me, again, all I can speak to is my channel here, because that's what I know. Where I tried to do it the right way. I tried to do it on the up and up. Tried not to be nefarious about anything and didn't skirt the rules, and just wanted to prove myself for what I had. And if that worked, if people bought into it, then great. I could do YouTube and use that as something to boost my brand and have a soapbox to chat with so many people and go down whatever road it took me. But I didn't. Now, I will say what I have done that did not work at all, but it was an experiment, was I did buy ads on Google AdSense. I bought ads on Facebook. I bought ads on a slew of different websites and online stuff to promote my videos, to get them seen. Because when you're a smaller YouTuber, you don't get seen. It sucks, especially in the realm of gaming, especially if you're coming in cold, not knowing anybody, not knowing the landscape, not having any connections. You're just talking about games because you want to talk about games. People like me are a dime a dozen. There's an endless supply of generic YouTubers talking about YouTube news and stuff like that. So what makes me special? What makes anybody stand out? What makes somebody grow 100 times faster when you pair the content next to each other and there's not too much of a difference? I don't know. It's a number of factors. But back to the point of what I did do, I bought those ads and it went nowhere. I spent, I think, when I was unemployed, didn't have the money to use, but I was trying so hard. I was putting 8 hours plus into videos from start to finish, publishing and promoting and all that stuff. At minimum, 8 hours. Researching, writing scripts sometimes, editing. There's so much that I did. And they were going nowhere. And as a smaller channel, you can't talk about that because it's like Fight Club. You don't talk about jealousy. You don't talk about putting work in. You just do the grind and you don't complain. I learned that the hard way too. But it's kind of like the elephant in the room that this topic is brought up. Why have some people been successful with what could amount to be generic content that other people have talked about? It's an interesting postulation. That's all. But the money I spent on Facebook and Google AdSense, it went nowhere. I don't know. Like I said, it was like $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 when I didn't have the money to do it. I was just trying everything because I was busting my ass, and the views were getting like 37 views in a video or 108 views in a video. I was getting maybe one sub every few days, which I get. Yeah, when you're small, you slowly grow. But this is like 8 months in of doing it daily. It can be very trying, and it burns a lot of people out. which is why obviously a lot of people go back to the only do this for the fun, only do this because you're passionate about it and you just have this undying love for the genre that you want to talk about and you want to use this as a platform to speak on. Yeah, but that doesn't explain how some people grow and some don't. And that's why I go back to this buying subs thing. And if that transpired, I'm not saying it has, but I wonder if skirting the rules, which by the way, buying subs and buying views is illegal on the platform. But if you don't get caught and you do it right, you can make it seem organic and nobody's going to question it. And you can grow your channel and then almost like a drug, just wean off of it and have the algorithm pick you up where you left off and take you from there. So I guess it's like an ethical thing. Like, is it ethical? Does the end justify the means? If you buy subs and buy views and people that watch you are none the wiser and they look at your sub count and they look at the views on the video, I mean, put two and two together, it's pretty obvious. If you do YouTube, if you watch YouTube even if you're not a content creator, if you're a viewer, you know, whether subconsciously or not, you're looking at the view count and you're looking at the sub count of a new content creator to help you justify clicking subscribe or not to them. And I'll tell you, even one of my buddies said, when I was starting YouTube, he's like, yeah, you're the only channel I sub to that has like 150 subs. Everyone else is minimum 500,000, but mostly we're like 1.5 and above sub counts. Because he didn't want to waste his time with piddly-dink nobodies that are just talking just to talk, just to waste people's time. Because that's his mentality. That's what he thinks about YouTube is, oh, these people grew because people have already made up their mind that they're worth it. So that saves me the time of sifting through all these content creators to find out who's worth my time or not. I'll just see what's popular and click subscribe. And I'm not saying that's what everyone does. I'm just saying the average Joe out there. People watching this video are not the average Joe. If I had 1.5 million subs or more, then I'd be talking to a lot of average Joes that don't know any better. But the people that watch my content currently, I feel like are a lot more in the know with what's going on and definitely have their radars up. But back to the point of when I purchased the ads, all it did was give me some subscribers, not even that many, honestly. All it really did was give me a lot of views, which ended up ironically hurting my videos because it was forcing people to watch something that they didn't click on. And it would almost make them upset sometimes when they click on a video they want to see and my mug shows up. They'd be like, what the hell is this guy? What is this? And then they just click skip ad. And then I'd get charged for it if they watched it for more than, 10 or 15 seconds. And it was like 5 cents or something per ad or 2.5 cents every time someone watched it past 10 seconds. Something like that. It's been a long time since I did this, like 4 years. And all it would do would hurt the algorithm chances of sharing my video because they'd look at it and be like, oh, everyone clicked on that video and watched 5 seconds of it and left. Why would we share that around if nobody wants to stick around and watch them? So it's like another thing to hold a small channel down is the advertisements don't help, they hurt. I never went into buying subs or buying views straight out. I know those services are available. I'd be lying if I didn't say I considered it at one point, but I never did it. And I don't agree with it. I want to make that clear too. I don't agree with it at all. But not agreeing with it and recognizing the reality of the world are two different things. I mean, I don't agree with Russia invading Ukraine, but hell, it's happening. You know, the reality doesn't matter what you believe in or what you don't. So I guess to end it on this is buying subs and views works if you do it right and nobody finds out. I do not condone it. I do not agree with it, but based off my experience and what I've seen, if you can pull it off, you can sneak right through people. And no one's the wiser because it looks natural, it looks organic. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. I mean, YouTube can put some safeguards in place and stuff like that, but over a long enough timeline, if you're patient enough, yeah, like anything, there are ways around it. So those are my thoughts on buying subs. The only subs I've ever bought are from sandwich shops. I love subs. Anyways, I'm going to leave the video right there. Hope you guys maybe learned something. I don't know. It's more just my thoughts, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about the end justifying the means. And if there's something to be said for that. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And what do they say? Only the good die young? You can't win by just being nice, unfortunately. That's the harsh reality. But thankfully, there's YouTubers out there, like me, now, that don't care anymore. That just, this is me. I'm free from stress. I'm free from trying. I'm just being able to chat openly on a platform. And that I will forever love. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing. Did you get it?
Yeah. And I went so much for this. I went so hard and I did it.
You did it. Congratulations.